So let's go deeper. The story is written in Hebrew, and Hebrew is not just a language, it's a layered architecture of meaning. It does not operate the same way that English does. In English, a word usually points to something. In Hebrew, a word unfolds something. Hebrew is built on roots, typically 3 letters, and those letters don't just spell, they resonate. They connect to other words with similar roots. They echo ideas across scripture. They carry numeric value. They contain imagery embedded in their shapes. When you read Hebrew, you're not just reading a sentence. You're stepping into a network. The word Eden, for example, is built from 3 letters, Ayin, Dalet, and Nun. Let's slow down here. Ayin means eye, but not just the physical organ. It implies perception, awareness, insight. It suggests how you see, not just what you see. Dalit means door, a threshold, an opening, a transition. It is the moment between rooms, between states. Nun means fish. But symbolically, it represents life beneath the surface, movement in unseen waters, continuity, flow. Now here's the question. If Eden is built from perspective, threshold, and flow, what kind of place is this? It's not just a garden of geography. It is a state of alignment, perception, ayin, entering, dalit, flowing life, nun. What if Eden is what happens when you see clearly, step continuously, and move in rhythm with life? And here's where it becomes dialectical. Because if Eden is perception aligned with life, then what was the fall? Was it disobedience, or was it a shift in perception? The story says they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Suddenly, they saw differently. Suddenly, they were aware. Suddenly, they were self-conscious. Before that moment, they were naked and unashamed. After that moment, they were divided into categories: good, evil, right, wrong, you, me. Maybe Eden wasn't physically lost. Maybe it was a lost perception. It's a harder loss of measure. Because if Eden is a state of perception, then we can't locate it on a map. We have to locate it consciously. Okay, now let's zoom out. In Jewish thought, there is a concept called paradis, meaning orchard, which also means garden. It's a method of interpreting scripture in 4 layers. Pishat, the literal meaning. Remez, the hinted meaning. Darash, the interpreted meaning. Sod, the secret meaning. Even the act of reading the Eden story, is structured like a garden. You can walk through it literally, or you can harvest it symbolically. And because this is where intelligent ignorance becomes power. Because you don't need to know everything about the tradition to ask meaningful questions. You just need to know there are layers. And once you know there are layers, you stop arguing over which interpretation is correct, and you start asking which one resonates. Now here's a thought experiment. If Eden could be a name, whose name would it be? Could it be the name of humanity before division? Could Adam be the human and Eden the human in harmony? Or could Eden be the name of an angel, perhaps? Not the garden, but the guardian consciousness of the light. And this one blends the mind a little bit. Could Eden be one of the names of God? In Hebrew tradition, God has many names. Each one expresses a different quality: justice, mercy, sovereignty, intimacy. If Eden means delight, abundance, flourishing, could Eden be one of the names of God? Maybe God in a particular mood. God not as a judge, God not as king, but God as delight. And so then God walking in the garden becomes less about footsteps and dirt and more about the presence within presence. Divine delight experiencing itself. And humanity at that moment was tuned into that frequency, into perception shift at least. Now let's bridge this back to something familiar. In gaming, there are moments when you are filled immensely, not thinking about the scoreboard, not thinking about how you look, not worried about winning or losing, just in flow. Time dissolves. You're not judging your performance. You're not judging yourself. You're simply playing. That's Ayin Dalit Nun. Clear perception. Threshold crossed. Flow sustained. But the moment you start thinking, am I doing good? The moment you start to split experience into performance matrix, into something changes. It doesn't mean awareness is evil. It means awareness is costly. And that what the story might be encoding, not knowledge is bad, but self-consciousness alters paradise.